Hello the internet. It is Friday the 18th of August 2017. I'm heading to the airport, heading to Melbourne this weekend. Why am I going to Melbourne? Skateboard's electric skateboard manufacturer has booked me to come to Melbourne to photograph and vlog their stall at the TGE, which is the Technology and Gadget Expo. Jeremy, the CEO of Jetboards, bless his cotton socks, has organised me to have a private vehicle to take me to the airport. I didn't expect this, but there you go. First time in a private vehicle to an airport. Thank you, Jeremy, and I'll see Melbourne very soon. While we're in this private vehicle, could be a perfect time to tell you about NSD. NSD, this episode is Tracer. Tracer have been NSD'd many times. I have an abundance of Tracer t-shirts, as you know, from touring with the band. Instead of showing you photos from gigs or from promo work, how about I show you some unseen, private, if you like, iPhone only photos. This is the 2011 European Spaces in Between tour, and these are previously unseen photos from my camera roll of 4 dudes on tour in Europe having an almighty fun time. And I've probably got to put captions on these photos because some of them are going to require it. Somebody left some water down here.
No, that's just our water. You can have it.
Thank you, sir. I spilled it. Fresh. I don't think that was deodorant. That is my first experience in a private vehicle to the airport.
Have a nice trip, sir.
Thanks a lot. Super busy one here at the airport today. Very strong winds, forcing the airport to only use one runway, and a lot of delays and a lot of cancellations. Fingers crossed my trip to Melbourne isn't delayed. None of those cancelled flights are mine, luckily. Gate 41 at 12 p.m. Fingers crossed nothing happens between now and then. It's really windy here. Well, it's 11:30. This is the time my flight's due to start boarding, but I don't think that's going to happen. Let's go and check the board. This wind coming. This whole building's shaking.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. For all Virgin Australia guests, we are experiencing disruptions to our services due to severe crosswinds in Sydney, resulting in significant delays and cancellations.
That is some really strong, they're calling them crosswinds. I'd say they're mad winds, they're angry winds. The board doesn't say any delays, but when you get to the gate, there's no mention of the flight. And it is well and truly boarding time. There's actually a different flight on the board there at 41.
We've just boarded Darwin, okay, so it'll come onto the board soon. Okay. Once we push back Darwin, then the gate's free for your aircraft to arrive in, then we'll start boarding you. At this stage, times are a bit messy.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Thank you. So we have now an incoming flight that's delayed, so we've got to wait for that flight to come in and then our flight goes out. Lucky I'm not in a great rush. This is exciting anyway. Nature, huh? Gate change. So far 40 minutes late, but that's cool. Can't help the weather, can you? We were due to board about an hour late, That's fine, that was the weather. We're in the line waiting to board. The plane that comes in, which is going to be our outgoing plane, crew member got sick on that plane. They had to evacuate her with paramedics. The replacement crew member has to come on an inbound flight from Brisbane, pushing our flight back even further, so now we're not leaving until 2 p.m. and it is now 20 past 1. So from 11:30 to 2 p.m, it's not too bad.
Cheers, thanks very much.
Thank you. We are now boarding 3 hours after the set departure time of 11:30.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That is a long wait in an airport, but what could you do? It's going to be a rocky ride. That was a rough takeoff. Wobbly.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Melbourne Airport. The local time is about 25 to 5.
Very quick flight, up in the air and back down again, and we're in Melbourne. Seems like an awful long day just for a domestic flight that takes just on an hour. So pick up bags, and then I'm meeting Warren Jordan, who you've never met before, and neither have I, by the way. He is a member of the Melbourne electric skateboard community. He's made some comments on my vlogs. I'm going to stay at his house this weekend. Bags gotten. Now, where's Warren? Warren, how are you, man?
How you doing, man? Good
Nice to meet you.
See ya.
Thanks for picking me up, Warren.
No worries, Bennett. Sorry about your terrible flight that you've had.
Hey, you know what? I'm here now. Doesn't matter. What are we doing right now?
We're heading back to my place where we can drop some bags off, and then we're going to head out and do something pretty special.
It's definitely cold here in Melbourne. It's freezing. This is Jeremy. Jeremy, how you going?
I'm alright.
This is the man behind the Jetboard.
I'm freezing my ass off.
Hey Jeremy, thanks for this booking for this weekend, man. I really appreciate it, and
So
I'm
good.
looking forward to seeing what you've got up your sleeve.
Nothing at the moment.
Nothing right there. You know, it wouldn't be a trip to Melbourne without seeing this lovely man's head.
And you
Did you see that? How you going, Jay?
Good, mate. How are you?
You are seeing the Jetboard for the first time here.
Roll it. I'm going to roll it back.
Being the big fat wuss that I am from Sydney, I brought gloves to Melbourne. It's cold here. Tell me a little bit about your Jetboards and what I should know coming from riding an Evolve board.
Biggest thing you'll notice is this board has no belts, so there's very minimal resistance on the board itself, so you can kick push it. It's a helical gear, so basically a gearbox in a car has helical gears, so it's free running and smooth running, and once you get up to speed, they're super efficient. Combining that with smaller motors means we can do more power than, you know, a board that weighs 11 kilos. So we can put a smaller battery but get similar range. Instead of doing like 6 miles, like say a boosted board, we can do 30 kilometers.
One of the huge things that I dislike about my GT Bamboo is the throttle. When you crank it down, you get a jolt. It can potentially throw you off the board if you're not very skilled. Likewise when you brake. Now, I'm really keen to have a go on your board because I know this doesn't happen.
With our braking curve, we basically do the opposite. The faster you're going, the less braking force. So what that means, if you're going 40 kilometers an hour, you slam the brakes on, it applies gentle force until the RPM starts to slow down. The more it slows down, the more progressively it increases the braking force, which means that if you throw it off at 40 k's an hour, you're not going to go straight off the board, you're going to gradually come to a stop.
This is what we need.
This isn't the final remote, but our final remote has a sensor that can detect your skin underneath the enclosure. So when you're holding it, the remote is only active. So if you're not holding it, the board can't accidentally go. Which means that if you're riding it and you hit a bump and the remote comes out of your hand, the board knows that, and it will engage a little bit of braking force to slow you down enough to either foot brake or jump off the board.
So your board's not going to continue to fang down the street and hit a bus. This is a sneaky little Friday pre-emptor for the weekend. We've got a whole bunch of crew here with the electric skateboards. The star of the show here is obviously Jeremy from Jetboards. He's featuring his boards tomorrow at TGE, and we're just here right now having a little bit of a sneaky test. Come and have a ride. One of the best things about the Jetboard is you can kick push it and it rolls forever. My first experience on this board is right now, and I haven't actually used the remote control. Pretty much rolled the entire width of this carport with about 4 kicks. Let's give it some guts here. It's very, very gradual. It's a welcome gradualness. Let's hit a break. Yeah, that's nice. What have you done here, Jeremy? You've hit the jackpot. This is gold. I'm gonna have another ride. Love the kick push start. Let's go up an incline here. Not a huge incline. My impression of Jetboard right now is that this thing is easier to ride. It's silk smooth. I would say it's got more of a user-friendly experience. Hey! And the braking on this thing, it doesn't do like an Evolve, it just does like a nice gentle, and I ended up stopping right where I wanted to. If you look at this Jetboard, and if you're a skateboarder, you might be saying, thanks Jeremy, you might be saying, where's the grip tape? There isn't any grip tape, and this is the reason why.
This is actually crushed glass from recycled beer bottles. It's not a harsh grip, so you can run your hand on it. It doesn't cut your clothes and it won't cut your hand. There's a urethane layer that goes over the deck. Glass goes down and then urethane on top. So that means the grip stays clean all the time, so you can just wipe your board clean. The trucks are actually custom made by Caliber for us.
Okay.
They're not standard Caliber trucks.
There's a difference too there, and I'm not going to be comparing this board with other boards because that's more what Jay does, but I'm just admiring the fact that Jeremy's come to market with a product that is already rivaling, competing with, and in my mind, surpassing other products because of issues that other products have. And yeah,
attention to detail is important.
Yeah, I'm excited by it. So there's a little sneaky peek at the Jetboard. We're going to see this in action all throughout this weekend at TGE. The model that I just rode was the 2-wheel drive model, so the back 2 wheels power. The end product will also feature 4-wheel drive. We have one of those here right now. Let's get on that and try it. Oh, that's we're out of time! What? I know, I can't believe it either. I keep running out of time on my vlog. But seriously, if you dig the vibe, please subscribe. You can check out my previous vlog here and a random vlog there. And if you like taking photographic photos on a photographic camera, you might want to check out my Lightroom 6 presets here.